you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the Chris Voss Show.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the earliest things in the mix official. Welcome to 16 years and 3,000 episodes of the Chris Voss Show from the oldest broadcasting podcast that still does daily updates and interviews with guests as well. There's a handful of us left, but we're the only one doing it daily because we love the we're masochists, folks. We love it. We love talking to people. We love learning. And we also like just blabbing. So we just talk. And that's all I got, man. That's the best joke I can come up with, folks, off the cuff. Refer to show your family, friends, and relatives. Go to good. They can't all be winners, folks. We've been doing this for 16 years. Come on, man. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, YouTube.com/Chris Voss, and Facebook.com/Chris Voss. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today's featured author is brought to you by Majestic Authors Media, specializing in strategic marketing and publishing to help authors reach their ideal audience and maximize their book success, turning powerful messages into global impact, one story at a time. We've got an amazing young lady on the show with us today. We're going to be talking about her books, her university, and all the things she's up to inspire people and make their lives better. Her book we'll be talking about, the first one, is called I pulled the wrong one here. Her book is called Take a Stand, A Look Within, out April 17th, 2026, by Dr. Shanequa E. Wilson. We're going to get into it with her, find out all of her deets, everything about her life. We're going to go through her browser history. No, I'm just kidding. We're just going to find out some about her. She is known as the Awakening Voice. She's an author, educator, combat veteran, and transformational voice committed to challenging individuals to confront the internal battles shaping their lives, leadership, and society. Through her work, she speaks boldly on identity, accountability, spiritual awakening, emotional healing, and the importance of personal responsibility in a culture increasingly shaped by distraction, fear, and compromise. Drawing from both lived experience and biblical insight, she combines truth, reflection, and cultural awareness to inspire transformational change from within. As a combat veteran, her perspective on resilience, discipline, courage, and her internals deeply influence her message, giving her voice both conviction and authenticity. She's the author of the aforementioned book and a powerful call to self-examination that encourages readers to move beyond silence. Got a camera right there on the screen. Move beyond silence, inherited pain, and false identity in order to reclaim truth, purpose, and spiritual clarity. Welcome to the show. How are you, young lady?
I am wonderful. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for coming. And I can't remember, do we want to call you doctor on the show or Shanequa?
Shanequa is fine.
Doctors always have a preference, so I always ask. Shanequa, so give us, welcome to the show. Give us your .coms. Where can we find you on the interwebs?
Oh, you can find me on sovereignchristianuniversity.com, YouTube, ShanequaEWilson.com, Instagram, Shanequa E. Wilson, LinkedIn, Shanequa E. Wilson. All the socials is Shanequa E. Wilson. That's where you find me.
So give us a 30,000 overview. What's in this book of yours? Take a Stand.
Take a Stand is definitely about internal war. And that's some of the things that we're going to definitely discuss tonight. It's about, for years, I watched people talk about what's going on in the world around them. We talk about politics, community, family, churches, schools, leaderships, and everywhere we look, there's problems happening. But what I did notice, Chris, is that we pointing at the problem, but we never look inside ourselves. That's why this book, Take a Stand, is really wrote.
No, it's easier to point fingers at everybody in the world and be like, things are going to hell, so I'm just not going to improve myself or deal with my issues personally or what's going on inside me. I'll just I'll just project it on on the world. Is that what's going on with people?
That's definitely what's going on with people. They really don't take a look within themselves and see what they're projecting in the world. And why these things are really coming up. If you really take a look at really what's going on and filter it through another lens. And I want to say this. I was typing something today, and we're on the internet. They told me I have 10 layers of things, so keep it simple. Sure, I stay simple today because I see things they're probably 10 layers deeper than people here. And if we don't really take a look through the lenses the right way, understand that the battle is really within us, and that's the only way we're going to change external. That's the same song that Michael Jackson wrote. I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
You remember, I'm asking you to change your ways. So I had to deal with me. I couldn't deal with external. I had to deal with what was going on within me.
Ah, there you go. And we do that a lot of times. We're really good at telling other people what to do and blaming other people for our problems and yada, yada, yada. But sometimes we are the problem. Yeah. You can blame people all you want, but in the end, you may find it's really you, not you specifically, but we're all our own problems and we all have our own houses to clean. I suppose maybe might be a good metaphor.
Indeed. And that's really what is really definitely about. Even as a combat veteran, and you letting them know that I am a veteran of 20 plus years, I've seen external battles, right? I've seen what conflict looked like visibly. But over time, I did realize that the hardest battles is the ones that nobody can see.
Yeah.
The battles against fear, the battles against insecurities, the battles against unforgiveness, and the battles even against compromise. And those are internal battles that often shape our decisions.
Yeah. And you talk in the book about different things about being accountable. We live in a world that it seems like there's this victimhood Olympics that are going on. I call them the victimhood Olympics, where people are just constantly trying to, I'm a bigger victim than you, and here's how I'm a bigger victim. And it's almost like they're just searching for stuff. I hit myself on the hand with an hammer so that I have a bigger victim story than you do. It's kind of crazy in the world right now. And it seems like we need more accountability. Indeed,
we need more accountability. And being a victim, and I don't know why, I'm still at awe with my problem bigger than your problem. I don't want problems, right? I'm trying to say, listen, how can we fix this? I don't understand why the people want to deal with this. Let's make it easier for ourselves. How do we fix this? I don't come to you with problems. I want the solution. If I go with the problem, I'm gonna bring the solution to. Listen, let's look at it this way. Can we put our head together? If you can find a better way, let's do it together. That's the type of person I want to see. Let's confront this together.
Yeah, a rising tide lifts all boats, and if we focus instead of how can I be the biggest victim and wear the victim card, maybe how can I fix it, or how can I get somebody else to help me possibly fix what's going on here. And I think, like you say, that's a much healthier thing. You incorporate a bit of God into your conversation there that you have in the book. Tell us how that works in with some of the topics you discussed there.
Indeed, God is everything in my life. I couldn't do anything without the Holy Spirit, without God the Father, without the Son, especially because I'm fourth generation in ministry.
Oh, really?
Evangelist. Yes, I am an evangelist, and I'm like tie-dye with him. Put chocolate in milk, and every decision I make, I have to go to God and consult Him. When I'm telling you, even when this book was being wrote, this is the second edition of the book. I wrote it first in 2018, 2019. I got pregnant, so I could never push it. And the thing was, Chris, let me tell you, I wrote it because the wall was being built, right? But when I was writing, the Holy Spirit started talking to me. What about the walls in your life? Right? You get it? And what about really? Look, I was one of those people that was looking externally at the wall and being upset about the wall and everything else. And the Holy Spirit said, freeze. What about the walls in your life? What about the defense walls that you have?
Yeah.
So everything that you're dealing with internally is actually external.
Yeah.
So I started seeing the lenses. That's why my vision had to change and shift. And I look at myself in the mirror. Okay, let me see me first before I say anything to anybody else.
Yeah, and that's a very disciplined and healthy way to go. Maybe you always fix your own house before you go try and help other people with their house. And personally, I've got so many things that I need to work on, fix, and problems. I really don't have time to worry about other people's problems because I'm focused on cleaning up my mess, which never seems to get fully cleaned up. But like you alluded to, a lot of times what's going on in the outer world is a reflection or maybe a projection or reflection of what's really going on inside us. And so many of the circumstances we may not be happy with, and I'll give you an example. Some people, they're always attracted to, or they choose the wrong people that maybe aren't healthy for them to be in a relationship with. But sometimes that's all they know. They were raised that way. So they have that. And so a lot of times we're creating circumstances in our lives that we resent or that we don't like, but they're a reflection of our unresolved issues that we have personally. And until we deal with those, we're not going to change the external, right?
Indeed. And you said something very powerful. You said they grew up like that, or it's what they know. And this is a big deal because that's what I'm teaching right now as through Cloak and Core. And why do I say that? Because that's a survival mechanism. Sometimes we think that's who we are, but that's been passed down because our parents try to survive and their parents. We don't understand our true identity until we understand who God called us to be. And until we get rid of that survival mechanism, and I call that the cloak, take that cloak fully off. Spend time with really who you are and who God called you to be, and begin to hear the Holy Spirit's voice and saying, and start doing those things. You'll see that have nothing to do with you. That pain, that hurt, and that victim mentality really had nothing to do with you. It's been passed down through generations. And that's, do you know, we as parents, and I'm talking about me included, was passing down pain that I went through different relationships and friendships through my children. And I had to say, hey, the buck stops here, because I had to face me from the inside out. And I literally had to go apologize because I started taking that survival cloak off and say, hey, that's really not part of them. That pain is not part of them. Let me show them true love. Let me allow them to understand who they truly are and operate in their true identity.
And it's so important that we look inward. We clean your own house. I don't know about some people, but you know, when I look internally and all the things I need to do and fix and work and go to the gym, and even on the internal, external, going to the gym and eating right and blah, blah, blah. I got a lot of work to do, man. Some people spend all their time worrying about other people's problems. I spend all my time worrying about me. That's kind of what you need to do. Cause I guess what I'm trying to say is, trust me, there's a lot of work there. There's plenty to do.
It is. And what people don't know is, as you begin to really work on yourself, other people say, how are you doing that? And they'll come and ask for assistance. This is what I'm doing. I'm looking within. And I know this got to happen in my life. I got to eat healthy. I got to change the way I eat because I'm getting a little bit older, right? I got to last long, but these twins I have, there's only 6, the last 2 children. They're only 6 right here. And that's some of the things that if we don't really change, and once people start seeing you change, they're going to want to walk with you on that path. They're going to start seeing the light as well. That's why the scriptures say, do not hide your light under the bushel. So be the light of the world. But let them know that I had these things going on, but now I'm looking within and hearing the voice of God and changing.
That's the beautiful part about what we do here on the show and the stories we share and the authors that bring their stories and lessons of life to us is they share their stories of survival and overcoming adversity, cathartic moments in life. And they let people know that, hey, there is a way out. There is a way to fix all this and survive. And so, yeah, sharing that story helps uplift the world, helps uplift others, and really gets it all going on. That's really good. Now we got a few different things we want to cruise through here. Anything more you want to plug on the book before we move to the next one?
I definitely want people to know that sometimes people don't even know that they're the villain in their own story. Right? They feel that they're doing the right thing. And actually, and because this is what Saul did in the scriptures, he thought I was helping God. Ain't no way this Jesus man is true, right? And until he got knocked off his animal on the road to Damascus. And Jesus said, why do thou persecute thou me? And he was the villain in his own story without realizing it. He said, who is it? He said, it's me, Jesus. And we do that sometimes. We think we helping God. God don't need help. Only thing we need to do is listen to him for ourselves. And as we follow him, everything else will fall in place. That's the war is really within us, and that's what reflects on the outside.
Yeah. You see a lot of people. I love that saying. Some of us are the villain in our own story. And that's another part of recognizing that it could be us.
Yes, it could be.
The problem could be me. I always love when I meet people and they tell me about, I don't know, their last 5 relationships they had. And there's always a consistent pattern. Oh, you somehow cornered the 5 top narcissists in America, even though there's only about 3% of people are narcissists by clinical form. But somehow you stood outside the narcissism clinic and dated those people, evidently. And they'll be telling you about their story, and you'll be, that'll go off in your head like you're the villain of your own story. You're the common denominator in all 5 of these bad relationships.
Yes.
It could be you.
It could be you. I was speaking with somebody the other day, Chris, before we move on.
Yeah.
And I said, we talk about how this world is set up. Everybody blaming this person, this, the political views, this, and this. But do you know we the one that manifested our commander-in-chief? Because it's internal. We need him in-house because of how we're operating. If people don't begin to see that thing, do y'all understand this internal? Whoever God put in house, that's what we need right now. Because that's the one that can deal with all this stuff that's going on. So God is really telling us go back to the very foundation of who you're called to be. And that's when things will begin to change.
Yeah. But that's the hardest thing to look inside yourself and focus on you, right? It's the hardest thing to admit that maybe it is me. And look through your history and see if it is you. One of the things that's interesting about all of us as humans is we kind of seem to awaken a little bit when we're about late 40s, 50s. And I think there's some science to it too. Maybe it's because we're not so focused on having kids all the time and mating and dating, right? Yeah. And we've lived long enough that you can kind of see the pattern through the detritus behind you, where you look back and you go, there's a bit of wreckage I left, and I've been dragging a lot of stuff through the dirt this whole 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah. And maybe it's me. Maybe all the, like I say, the villain in your own story. Maybe it was me. And I remember doing that when I got to my 50s. I looked back at my life and went, maybe I should quit drinking. And maybe I should quit doing all the crack, heroin, and cocaine, and hookers, and blow. And no, I'm just, it's a callback joke. Maybe I should quit doing all the bad things and maybe start treating myself better. I quit drinking alcohol. I started eating right. I started going to the gym and realized that maybe a lot of the issues I was creating were my own problems that I was creating.
And you're definitely right. And I'm telling you, I think with Dr. Cindy Trill, she said, you don't start living or understanding until you're 50 anyway. So everything prior to that, you're just there. And I love it because that's actually true. That's me, that's in me crossing over 50 this year. And I'm like, oh my God, it's me. And a lot of times people don't know she, her, and me, past, present, and future. I talk to her, I talk to she, and I talk to me. I talk to all three. I love all three of me, past, present, and future. Because what you do today is really for your future tense. So we have to really begin to look at that. That's why we change the way we eat, to change some of the things we do. But we look for peace at this age. I just want peace. I really want peace.
They say we get better too. We awaken. We start unlocking how interactions with people and our traumas sometimes stay buried, and we start waking up to the traumas because our bodies will keep certain things away from us because when we're young, we can't handle some of this stuff. But no, you can look back when you get about 40s and 50s, and you can kind of see a trail. You can kind of see a path you've been cutting, and some of it's kind of cool, but some of it's kind of dark. And you're like, I was the common denominator through all of that and all those problems, and maybe I should stop dragging all this crap. Maybe that's a good metaphor. Stop dragging your crap around. Wasn't that a song? Stop dragging my heart around. Yeah, it was Tom Petty. Stevie Nicks.
That's a whole house in your rucksack. Yeah. Let me empty this rucksack out because it's heavy. I'm out right now. Take it out. I don't need that in there.
Army military term there. Yeah, I had my friend one time. He was in the military and he was a sniper, but he was going back for a fourth tour of duty, I think, in Iraq. And he's like, "Hey, you want to try on my rucksack?" And I'm like, dude, I got a bad back. I'm a mess. I don't know. He goes, I'll hold it. Cause he goes, I know that if you feel the full weight, you're going to collapse. And I was in my 40s or something. And I was like, okay, but you got to hold it. Cause I got a bad back. And man, he had to hold that thing practically up because I was going to fold once, I don't know, parts of it hit me. But man, that thing was heavy. And I'll see the guys in the military, some are at the gym. They're doing, what's that Army thing where the Rangers training? They're trying to qualify for Rangers. So they're on the treadmill jogging with that freaking rucksack full so that they're up to par. And I'm just like, dude, you got to
think about the 12 miles we got to do. And around. In the military, they said, if you bring it, you carry it. Not 2 duffel bags and a rucksack. Anything we have, we got. If we bring it, we carry it. I had to I'm bringing all that. Take some of this stuff out. I'm going to take my necessities at this point. Because them bags are heavy. And think about a female carrying all that stuff. And we like our purses full of stuff. And I'm like, no. This rucksack is too heavy now. I'm no longer in the military, so I'm tired of this gear.
Maybe that's a metaphor for if you because a lot of people that come into relationships, marriages, friendships, work, carrying their own baggage of crap and trauma and unresolved issues, and maybe that's a good metaphor. If you bring it, you carry it. Don't expect somebody to carry it for you. And we kind of do that to people. Oh, I have unresolved trauma, so I'll just take it out on my spouse and annoy them or whatever the case may be, right?
Them attitude.
Yeah. And when it's really, hey, man, leave your baggage at the door. And maybe you should quit carrying all that crap around. I remember at Tori Amos, I went to a concert with Tori Amos, and she said she went through a big victimhood kind of space era in her life. And she's always complaining about the world was so bad. And here she is, a rock star at the time. And I think she still is. And her friend came to her and said, hey, man, get off the cross. We need the wood. And basically the implication was, hey, man, we know you're putting yourself up there on the cross and acting out this victimization. Can you knock it off? Because we need to build some things instead of you just always up there thrashing about. Crying about, what was it that we said earlier? Being the villain in your own story.
That's right. Tell me your own story. Let it go.
Yeah.
No help.
Yeah.
And I love some of the things that you're saying because we do in certain relationships, we bring financial problems, we bring all these things and not realizing they're internal. They're really internal. Let's deal with this before we even move into a relationship from friendships. I got a female that I don't like women. You a woman yourself. How you don't like women? Right? I'm lost. You really just don't like yourself, and you take it out.
Exactly. And that projection, right?
That's that projection.
Yeah.
You need to stop saying that because we need people in our lives to make everything run successful. It's all about what you're projecting.
Yeah. It's all about what you're projecting. So now you have this journal book that you have also out called It's an Inside Job, a 52-week guided journal for awakening and alignment. Give us some rundown on this, if you would, please.
Let me tell you, this journal is really amazing. Chris, when I got out of the military, which was 10 years ago, I started coaching right then. I'm like, I'm no good to the world. Because I joined the Army at 18, really 17. I came in a delayed entry because my mom and dad had. And when I got out, I couldn't live in the regular world. There's no way that my brain wasn't compatible to the regular world. It was like a secret society. I was talking to my son-in-law about, and I'm like, I need coaching. It took me 10 years. And out of those 10 years of coaching and everything else, I used to write down little quotes. And so that's where this book came from. People say, how long did it take you to write it? From all the 10 years of coaching, all the names I got, it probably only took me 2 months, but I had to go through all those journals. But it really took 10 years of my life to really put this together. And it's really an inside job. It make you aware of the patterns that we talked about. It make you aware of the things that hold you. You're not really stuck. It's really they made a decision. It make you aware of everything that the victimization. It makes you aware of who you are from the inside out.
Yeah. And facing these things, so they can go through it basically every day, and you've got your guided journal, so you give them tips and questions, maybe?
Yes. So basically every week is a new setting. The first one is awareness, right? Every day it do a reflection. Have you thought about this? Every single day it'll have you to write and reflect, and you have to sit in it. And it's 52 weeks because it's 52 weeks in a year, but it's also 365 days. So It's a transformational guide. It's literally your change. Somebody called me and said, I am sitting with these questions and I notice I got patterns. You really see the patterns now because they're writing them out.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel like they're doing the work, but they get so lackadaisical. I quit. But you can't quit on this. Chris,
You quit on yourself, right? If you quit on
yourself. This book is evergreen, so it don't got January, February, March. You can pick it up any day right then. I made it evergreen. I didn't put the days of the months of the year.
I love that.
You could just pick it up and begin anytime. You do more than one. If you want to work on one area, go and get another one. It's up to you. So that's why it's wrote like that.
I like that. I've got a Stoic book here that I really love, the Daily Stoic Journal.
Yes.
The problem I have with it is it starts in January, and so the dates are like locked in. No. And it has all these cool prompts like what you're talking about, but I have to start in the middle because it's the middle of the year. And it's annoying because I'm like, I really want to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you can't write your dates in because the dates are pre-programmed. So I love it. I love how you did that. It's smart.
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, what if I want somebody? I just wrote it. And I'm like, I want it evergreen. So you can get up and do it. I love that part about it.
What if you buy the book in June?
Yeah. Half of the year gone. No, you start right now and finish next year.
I love that. Now, so does that coincide maybe with your first book? Is it maybe a series at all? Or
to me, it works hand in hand. Because take a stand and look within is about internal battles. Now you got something that make you look at what's going on really and right, make you aware, the decisions, the responsibilities, the clarity. You're not stuck. It's all in the journal. So it coincides with it. That's right.
Oh, wow. That's pretty darn cool.
One out the other, it's up to you, but it's all where you want to be.
It's all where you want to be. Now, you've got a YouTube channel, I think, where you podcast and I think it's called The Awakening Voice. So fill us in on that a little bit.
Awakening Voice. Like I am not a motivational speaker, or I'm a transformational, confrontational. I'm going to talk to you about, let's deal with you, right? Let's deal with what's going on within you. A lot of times people want to be motivated, but motivation could leave within 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. But what I want you to do is really take a look within yourself and take that cloak off, that survival cloak, that victim cloak is what we say. And let's really deal with the underlying factor of why you carrying it. Why are we putting that stuff in our rucksack? Why are we here in our life? What's really going on? So that's what I talk about. And we get to your authentic self, your personality of who God created you to be. Because we're created on purpose, for purpose, and born with an identity in Christ. We really want transformation to take place.
My purpose is to eat tacos and pizza.
Pizza? You want a pizza?
Little pizza and tacos.
Yes.
That's my purpose in life. That's my calling. I was put here. I was put here to enjoy those things.
I wish I could enjoy pizza right now. I knew I was allergic to tomatoes when I was young.
Oh, really?
I crossed over. I can't eat them at all. I'm talking about
really?
Away. Oh my God.
That sucks.
I know. The tomatoes taste good on everything to me, right?
Oh yeah, they're good.
He wanted me pizza with cheese. I'm like, it's too salty. I don't want it. I want.
Oh wow.
Right.
I have the same problem with milk. I not only am lactose intolerant, I am severe lactose intolerant. If you give me lactose, we're going to have a Chernobyl event, and it's not going to be pretty.
But now you get older, you say, forget that. My body can't take it.
Oh yeah, there's no trying anymore. Even those lactose pills, that's like just candy for my lactose intolerant. It just laughs when I take those lactose pills. They're like, you think that's gonna save you now?
Don't need right.
Yeah, but thankfully they make a lot of lactose-free stuff. Let's talk about your so people can tune in to your YouTube channel. They can. How often do you usually put up episodes, and what do you usually talk about there?
Oh. So they could tune in. I'm live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I go live for only 30 minutes. Literally, my time is 5:30 to 6 o'clock. But the summertime, I'm doing 6 o'clock to 6:30 because my children are here. I'm a older parent. Let me tell you, Chris, I got 7 children. I had a set of twins at 45. Right?
At 45?
Yes.
You go, girl.
So
where do you live? You need to move to Utah because that's pretty common here.
I am in Texas. I am Georgetown, Texas. My husband got the children out of the house right now. It's boy, girl.
You come up here, you got to get 3 more. I think the legal minimum is 10.
No, I'm done. Look, I got one boy. That's the boy I was looking for. He's one of the twins.
Oh, really?
Because I got 6 girls,
Oh,
6
man.
wonderful girls. I have grandchildren. Yes, so
You learned some life lessons. I
life lessons.
I remember a friend of mine. He had his first kids when he was like 33, and his first set was twins.
Oh,
his first introduction was twins.
I would have been done.
and he was 33. You said you did it at 45. I remember one time he came to me. He goes, "Chris, I understand why people have children when they're 20s, in their 20s. I understand when he goes, I'm 33. I don't have the energy for these twins." He goes, one starts crying and wakes the other one up, and then the other one goes to sleep, and then the other one cries. And
I told him, I said, go with your sister. I told him, I said, look, y'all can leave the house at 12. Go live with your sister. Oh, the child is 32. So go with your sister. She got kids.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's probably smart. You get the kids to do the babysitting and take care and stuff. But I remember he pulled out the big bag of twins diapers. He was holding it above his head like this, and it stretched the floor. And he goes, "That's one day, or I don't know, a couple days or something of twins." He goes, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get that vasectomy." But I just remember but 45, man. I
was done. I was like, take it. I'm done. I promise you I'm done. I'm finished. I'm tired.
If anybody asks if you have enough life experience for all you've done with the military and 7 kids, you can just be like, "I got 7 kids, man. I know it all now." Close to it.
I know it all. I got God. God, please, forever young. I'm forever young.
You gotta be. You gotta be.
Stay with them. Yes, that's why that's the way I eat.
I never had kids. But I just got a new puppy, and he was about 5 months old when I got him. 8 months old, I think, 6. And boy, I'm having a hard time at 58. Just dealing with him.
You want to adopt? You need to adopt some kids. Talking about a puppy.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You're breaking up on me, Shanequa, and I think the podcast is. Kidding. You do have 7, so you do have spares, but yeah, in Utah that's pretty common up here. 4 to 7 is the average. You're just warming up at 7 here in Utah. So let's talk about your university. Let's move to that.
Let me. My university is called Sovereign Christian University. You notice everything is aligned because it comes from within. You sovereign, literally within yourself. God is the only sovereign, supreme being, but He also makes us sovereign from within ourselves, operating from within. So that's what it's about, really, to align with your identity. I got an ecosystem where from the book to the coaching to the teaching, and now the university. And everything is online. You can begin it like my evergreen book when you want to, and you end. It ain't like on a traditional system. Okay. It's a Christian. Everything is based on God and Christ, from the business to entrepreneurship to theology. I offer bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and a hybrid of master's and a doctorate at the same time. Chris, I even give out honorarium degrees for people that understand who they are and who God called them to be. And the amazing part about it, there's nothing over $8,000.
Oh, really? So it's fairly inexpensive? I'm not going to pay like Harvard prices for this?
No, most definitely not. No. Wow. There's nothing that should be that expensive.
I could have kept one of my kidneys.
Yes. Listen, it is payment plans. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
And you could go as fast as slow as you want to.
Oh, really?
It won't matter. If you're ready to get your bachelor's and you could sit there and do it, get it done. And go through the degree program. There's no need to do anything else.
It's amazing what you do online now.
And it's accredited. So that's how
it's accredited too. Yeah. I wish it would have been like that back in the day. Back in the day, like, you have to show up here. And I'm like, what kind of time? I showed up for the frat parties, but they wanted me to show up for the professor crap. And I was like, I don't know about all this. So it's cool that everything's online now, that you can do learning and learn at your speed too. Yeah. I'm one of those people, it takes me a little longer to learn stuff, especially when I've got some teacher barking at me and I really don't care. So, sometimes I like to kind of marinate and stuff on my own. When I learn stuff, I like to kind of push all the buttons and tweak around stuff. And they're like, hey, we got to move to the next thing. I'm like, I'm still mastering this part right here.
Indeed.
So that's good.
And I don't want to rush people because we're forever learning. And you only stop learning when you in that grave. And I ain't trying to go no time soon. So if you got a way to learn or get the information you need, why not?
There you go.
And that's what it's all about. We got a lot of people out there talking about you don't need this. People learn what they want to learn, and that's what I love. We offer what you want, not what the traditional schools do. We take you where God, the very foundation of who God called you to be.
And I think we were talking about this before the show, before we came on air. You're having, I think, your first graduation, I think it was.
Yes, in July 10th and 11th, my first commencement. It's a commencement. It's a banquet. It's going to be a in-person book signing. We're going to also have a mastermind. So listen, don't miss it. Just come out to Texas with me. Literally graduating. It ain't just an online graduation. It's going to be a full graduation ceremony.
Do you guys have any cool frat parties where everyone gets smashed? And
yes, let me have a whole get dressed up and come on. I think it's gonna be there. I promise you. I told them I'm gonna make me a whole sorority. A sorority. I want a sorority. I want the color. Our colors are purple and silver for royalty and wisdom.
You remember that movie Old School where there's that blue guy and they had the sorority parties where they were doing the Jello wrestling, I think it was, or something like that.
Jello wrestling. That's what's
in my head right now with the sorority parties. The Old School. What a wonderful movie. This sounds wonderful. Anything else we want to plug on the show while we have you here? Or maybe questions I should have asked you that we want to cover?
I want to leave people with this. Transformation starts with, you don't remember anything else. Always remember that. And know that everything starts from within. If you need to reach me, I am here. You can reach me on info@Sovereign Christian University, Shanequa W5@gmail.com. To enroll in the college is www.sovereignchristianuniversity.com. And you can enroll in the university, which is a big deal. And you can also find my books and everything else right there on the same site under products.
All right. This should be fun. I think you should really do is write a book, follow up on these, how to have the energy to raise twins at 45. I'm going to go have to take a nap just from you telling me that.
I am working on my next book, A Strong Woman, A Woman of Strength. And that's what I'm working on.
But God bless you. I see some kids running around and I'm just like, I don't have the energy to sit over here and be in their presence, be near them, let alone. I think I was at the dog park the other day and there were kids running around screaming. And I'm like, how do I get away from these people?
I learned over the years is choose my battles.
Choose your battles.
Cowboy the shorts, let him. I am done. I ain't no need to argue with them. They got their own mind.
Yeah. They did figure out what causes those kids. So there's ways.
Listen, I ain't gonna have no more, but I'm still gonna do what causes them.
I just combined a military school and faked my death and moved so that they can't find me anymore.
No.
So I'm sure they'll be fine. The military does a good job. The military does a really good job actually at self-accountability, leadership. I think the Army has the be no do leadership.
That's right.
And when I was writing my book, Beacons Leadership, at the end, my Army buddy, I sent him a copy of the manuscript, and he was like, the military has really great leadership training. And I was like, really? And about then we started to have authors on the show that were from the military, and we talk about different levels of stuff. And so I started studying Be No Do, and I'm like, God, I wish I would have known about this more. And one of the follow-up books to Beacons of Leadership, I think we want to maybe talk about the different branches, because each branch kind of has its variation, its own kind of flavor, but it's all really great leadership. You see, especially the crazy leadership the Russians have, why we used to think they were the second best military in the world, to steal the State Department's joke. It turns out they're the second best military in Ukraine.
Yes, only in Ukraine.
Only in Ukraine. But you see how their military structure and their leadership, quote unquote, not works or doesn't work. They're going through 30 to 50,000 bodies of Russian soldiers a month. It's just a meat grinder, and the Russians are figuring it out. They're like, I'm going into meat grinder, and so it's just crazy. But our leadership that we teach in our military is just top notch, and it's probably one of the reasons we've had the best militaries in the world up until now. I don't know what's going on, but there's some weird shit.
The video games is what's going on.
Yeah, the video games are going on. Yeah, the dropping the drones. It's really wild how drone warfare has changed the face of the military.
Yeah.
It's not about having the big tanks and
boots on ground. Look,
yeah,
boots
on the ground.
Boots on ground, right?
Oh yeah, I've watched those videos of the drones chasing the Russian dude through the woods. Man, it's like a horror film, man. It's crazy, but make sure you're on the right team, folks. That's all I can say. Anyway, so as we go out, final thoughts, final pitch out to people on how to get to know you better and all your .coms.
All right. So to get to know me better, like I said, you can meet me on Cloak and Core, YouTube, Shanequa E. Wilson, the YouTube. So my Instagram, Shanequa E. Wilson, Facebook, Shanequa E. Wilson. And listen, www.sovereignchristianuniversity.com. Everything is underneath there. The Voice of Awakening. And I want you to understand transformation begins within. And that's how you would know me. I am the Voice of Awakening. And thank you for having me, Chris.
Thank you for coming. What a wonderful message you've given us. And I feel great. Now I'm going to go work on not being the villain of my own story.
Don't do that. Please don't.
Yeah. I've been doing it for 50 years where I've been the villain.
It's an inside job. And
yeah. I might stop wearing the villain cloak that you see in the movies. I don't know what I'm trying.
I got the survival cloak. I wear that when I'm talking on my podcast. Come on, let's time to take the cloak off.
I'm going to quit dressing like a Bond villain, basically. I'll start dressing like James Bond, maybe.
Come on over here like James Bond on your show.
Dating life. Yeah, instead of being that evil, who's the guys, the Spectre guys that are always weird Spectre dudes in James Bond. That's probably what I've always been. Anyway, I'm Goldfinger. Anyway, so thank you very much for coming on the show, Shanequa. We really appreciate it. Thanks for the uplifting message.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks, Arnis, for tuning in. Order up a book where refined books are sold that we let off with. Take a Stand, A Look Within, April 17th, 2026. And check out the other wares of Dr. Shanequa E. Wilson, who's been with us on the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTok. And wow, look at all these wonderful messages. This conversation is truly inspiring. It is never too late to make changes in life. Too funny and casually, easily interesting. Congratulations. Laugh out loud. There was a couple laugh out louds on some of our jokes. And not just that, not sure what that refers to, and good show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, and YouTube.com/Chris Voss. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next.
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.